heard about crypto a long time ago, by kind of going through baby steps, and I think it kind of grabbed me. 2016, I lived in San Francisco. In San Francisco is really kind of a lot of innovation happens there. It was one of the few places in the world where people were actually like investing proper amounts of money. And some of the friends that I was around were buying a lot of crypto. Bitcoin. My first purchase was Ethereum. It was like a $100 range back then. I thought Bitcoin was quite expensive, but eventually I kind of bought it dips. And then I also bought some Litecoin at the time because I thought it was so cheap that people would eventually pump it, which they did.
Did you sell it eventually?
I sold it at the top. I got the Pico top. One day I woke up, it had gone from 250 to 360. This was like maybe 2017. And I was like, this is just crazy now. So I sold it all, and I think that marked the local high.
Yeah, good for you. And how did you start working with Selini Capital? What are your day-to-day activities?
Yeah, so I founded Selini Capital a few years ago. We are very much focused on digital assets. We started trading because I'm a trader. I think we're okay, thank you. So coming into trading, we started very much trading all the crypto venues. And when you're around it, you start thinking about it all day, and then you start getting ideas, and you want to invest in certain ideas, or you want to build certain ideas. So I have incrementally more and more gotten into the fundamentals of the space as well.
And we have now such crazy days with FTX getting out of liquidity, then Binance announcing that it's will acquire FTX and now pulling out of the deal. And well, you mentioned that you traded on FTX. Can you share your thoughts on all the situation and where are we going?
Yeah, it's not good for the space no matter what happens. It's better if people get their money back because it kind of doesn't leave a loose end. I think if people don't manage to withdraw at all, or get like at least a large part out somehow, we'll have a bit of a black eye for a while. And maybe it leads us to more decentralization, maybe it leads us to other directions, but there's a lot of shock around the people that I speak to around the tier 1, proper tier 1 exchange like this right now. So hopefully the deal somehow revives and it's not necessary that we'll find some way through. But there's a lot of shock right now.
And now Alameda and FTX is now selling their holdings. There is a big drop down in Solana as well. There was a note that they're selling back into probably some other assets. What's really the different market and what are you doing with your
I think we're definitely like not taking a huge amount of exposure. We have some exposure just because we always have long-term exposure. I think right now there's a lot of discovery happening, a lot of price discovery. Like, what does Solana fair price act to when you're basically taking out one of the biggest backers of it, one of the supporters? As you take them out of the equation, is it worth $20? Is it worth $15? We're finding out. So the market's finding out. I'm a bit worried what prices certain things go to, but I think some really strong assets like Matic has done amazing PG work. I think some of those assets will get bought up. I think Ethereum and Bitcoin, at the end of the day, they can't drop that much because there is such a huge amount of it. So it's not good to see the 20-40% falls, but we'll get through it.
do you see the perspective that other exchanges may become insolvent as well during these times?
I'm not sure how many exchanges would have exposure to FTX. I think they might have 10 million because they're hedging something there. I don't think they will have all of their assets there. I think we might have certain protocols where they had their treasury on FTX in serious trouble and might need to struggle to raise a new round or something. But I think most of the exchanges don't really put their money elsewhere, but there will be some casualties probably.
Can you tell us how do you actually invest now? Like what's the tokens to trade? side?
Yeah, I guess I'm more excited about venture right now because there's new ideas and things to build, and if you can help talk to founders and help them get a direction, then that's very much more conducive to like outside returns compared to trying to pick and choose which layer one right now is kind of doing really well. There's a lot of layer ones, there's a lot of Dexes, a lot of changes. I really look for innovation and I look for new ideas.
So, what industries within the Web3 business blockchain is really interesting?
I like things that are kind of doing maybe like incentivized tokens, so X to earn, different X to earn models. A lot of them sound crazy, like there's like a sleep to earn one I'm looking at now. I haven't gone through the deck fully, but I'm starting to look at it. But some of those ideas, they sound crazy, some of them make sense. So I want to really go one by one and then choose the good ones.
Doesn't it sound to you like just creation of money out of thin air? It's always a situation.
No, so I think it's different. I think like creation of money comes in when you're saying something is a currency. If you're just kind of creating coupons, it's called a coupon system, where you're creating incentives for customers, for consumers. So brands can give you like buy one, get one free. That's not really money. It's not fungible in the same way. But you can still direct attention, you can direct incentives of consumers. So I don't think it's new money. I think it's a new way of creating alignment with brands.
We saw some kind of bit of whale effect in liquidity. The people play the game just to earn and now it's totally sold down. So, like, what's the difference? Here it was as well like money for people.
Yeah, I think Axie Infinity was an experiment that people didn't know what was going on. They just saw demand, they saw users, and then they thought that users means price up, and they kind of got into this crazy. It was a speculative bubble. I think if they had managed to make a game that people want to pay money to play instead of get paid to play, it would have been a lot better. But we're learning. It was the first one. It was an experiment, and I think ultimately we'll find better versions of these things that are more like entertainment that people are willing to pay.
And do you invest currently in any games?
I've invested in one game. It's early stages, so I chose it because the founder seems very good. I find it hard to know what game is going to come out perfectly. Studios spend like a lot of money. They do like AAA games, they spend millions, and at the end of the day, those games flop. So I would rather kind of invest in a good team and a good founder. I find it hard to invest in individual games.
So the team is the most important factor for you when you decide whether to invest or not?
Only for games. For other industries, I have a very strong opinion on like sustainability of the project. If I think they're going towards a dead end, I've seen many times really good founder, and he has a bad idea, and it doesn't die because he's so good. He gets kind of attention, but it doesn't go anywhere. He just wastes 5 years of his life. So if it's not about games, I actually like to choose very carefully.
So how should we define the product market fit for this service or product?
So the product market fit, like either you use something that's already existing and then you're talking about forks and copies and mousetraps, selling a better mousetrap, or you have to really imagine a new product with a new thing, and that's very difficult to do. But I try to spend a lot of my time thinking about like new ways to use technology, new ways to use community and community incentives, and go from there.
And how do you generally see current markets? Where are we going?
I think there's a lot of talent, there's a lot of people building. A lot of the stuff we're gonna build is gonna be worthless. So we'll have to learn and see what ends up working. But one guy comes up with one good idea, like NFTs is one good idea, and then you just start building up, millions of people get involved. So we just need like those 50 people maybe have good ideas, and everybody else is gonna copy them, but we just wanna see those good ideas.
So what might be the next big thing, the next trend?
Next trend, like I said, I think brands are gonna come in, they're gonna realize that they can create some creative incentives and forward the brands. And then of course, everyone wants to love money as well and currencies. And I think the next thing on the currency front is figuring out ultimately like where is scarcity and how do you value scarcity instead of forests.
But there was some big Twitter threads from you about scarcity of Bitcoin and that like we just supplant with that 21 million supply that we just have and not really a scarcity. Can you tell more about that?
Yeah, I think like scarcity just means that there's not that much, there's not abundance of it, but it doesn't mean that there's a fixed number. So Bitcoiners get very used to 21 million. They think that it only has value because it's capped. But you can actually have a small inflation rate and just have 100,000 new coins a year, 200,000 new coins a year. That's not that many coins, and a lot of new people will want to buy those coins. So it's still scarce. Like gold is still scarce, even though they still mine gold. So the point is, we need to kind of focus on the right aspects of scarcity and not on like a meaningful aspect.
So is Bitcoin money for you or no?
I think Bitcoin has the best potential for money. It's not money yet. It's maybe like 6 out of 10, way 60% of the way there. There's still like a lot of things to go. But ultimately, like there's just not enough economical activity being denominated in Bitcoin. And to be 10 out of 10, you need to have economic activity like oil, and you need to have real assets denominated in Bitcoin, and we don't see that yet.
And do you think Bitcoin will ever can substitute fiat money?
I don't think it's ever going to substitute it now. I think fiat money will always be there because governments want to have control over their money supply. However, it can create a decentralized alternative where citizens around the world in different countries can choose to have partially opt out of their local system. So kind of like digital nomads. You know, you have people who decide to travel around and work on the internet. It's the money for those people. They can still have their self-sovereignty and be able to conduct economic activity.
And while you are between Singapore and London, what differences in development of crypto projects do you see between Europe and Asia?
I think Asia is hard to say. Singapore is a very unique place in Asia. They have a lot of government regulation of things, and they're a very conservative society, which is maybe not the case in other parts of Asia. But specifically, Singapore is different than Korea, for example. What I see is, they want to embrace the potential and the economic activity. So they're being very positive in that regard, but they also don't want to they don't like speculation. They don't like gambling. They have casinos in Singapore, but they don't let locals go in. Right, exactly. So I think in Europe it's a bit more liberal, a bit more free. So both have potential for crypto, but in different ways.
And do you geographically invest or mostly focusing on any projects in any region?
I think it's wrong to do that. I think the internet is a digital age now. I don't care if anybody can be anywhere. It doesn't matter.
And do you still actively invest now during the bear market?
Still investing. Still investing because I think there's still a lot of talent, and talent is coming up with good ideas. So continue to do a lot of seed rounds. A bit less Series A right now, a bit more seed rounds.
And can you share some recent investments?
I think they haven't announced, but there's some interesting things going on with sports betting. There's some interesting going on with gaming. I mentioned one game that we're interested in. There's some DeFi projects that are, I would say, not breaking new ground, but they're making a better improvement of the decentralized exchange, which is important right now to have the decentralized exchanges.
Yeah. And are you focusing on any chain or are you chain agnostic?
I'm not chain agnostic, but I'm not focusing on one chain. I've been doing some things in Atom ecosystem. I'm quite excited about Cosmos. Obviously, Ethereum L2s, things like Arbitrum are getting some good things built there. It's also there. And then Polygon I mentioned as well. So that's kind of where the current focus is.
What are your thoughts about ZK rollups, ZK emails?
I think we're still a ways away from seeing the full potential. It will unlock unlock something, especially around privacy. Once you unlock privacy, you can do things that people are comfortable doing in private. I'm not sure how governments will react to a lot of privacy because they love Bitcoin and love Ethereum because they can see everything on chain. I don't know how they'll react if they can't be able to build potentially what someone else is doing. So it's very early to tell, but obviously a very exciting part of it.
And how can people reach out to you if they want to show the project to you?
Yeah, I mean, my DMs are open on Twitter, so I keep theorizing. I don't go through my messages every day, but once a week I try to catch up.
Okay, great. Thank you for the interview and sharing your